Merry Christmas!
Hi, this is Chris from Leicester Till I Die. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
This is your host, Chris.
No! God, please, no! No!
I know, I'm sorry, but he's cheap and available.
How rude.
Always cheap and available, that's me. Everybody knows that. Welcome along to what is a happier preview than I thought I was going to be coming back to from my holidays after the form we were in when I left. But a certain Mr. Cifuentes has turned it round, and this is the Marty Cifuentes derby. I know I'm dragging, I'm clutching at straws here for a bit of excitement, but I'm going to go with it. I will welcome along Ben from a W2 podcast, a big QPR fan. Good evening, Ben.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks very much for coming on. Yeah, like I say, last game before Christmas.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mate. Yeah, looking forward to it. We've been on good form at home, so it should be a really good match. Two teams in good form going into it.
Yes, obviously we have got and we will come on to the man himself as we go through. But it's actually, and breaking news here, we've actually got, Leicester fans, a 3:00 kickoff on a Saturday. What is happening? I thought this one actually would be prime for TV with the Cifuentes link.
Yeah. We've had a lot of 3:00s actually. It's been a bit. Last season we hardly had any, but this season for whatever reason we've been quite lucky with the old 3:00s. It does like feel like a proper championship game when when you're kicking off at 3:00. Yeah. So we've enjoyed it. So yeah, it's a sellout tomorrow on Saturday as well.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah. So it should be a really good atmosphere right before Christmas.
It should be. Everybody in the Christmas hats and everything. That's how it should be. That's what football's about. It should be for the fans. We know it's not though. We do know it's not. But yeah, I mean, I've never been to Loftus Road, I must admit, but I've always liked it. I've always liked QPR as a club, to be honest with you. And I'm old enough to remember Stan Bowles and that era, which I am that old. But yeah, I also remember beating you, was it 6-1 or something on the last day of the Premier League season? Sorry about that.
Was it 6-5-1? Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, we were already relegated at that point. Yeah. I mean, when I first started supporting QPR in the 90s, we were sort of the top London club. That was back in the 90s, sort of mid 90s. But the footballing world has very much changed since then.
Oh, it's so many ways it has. Obviously, I mean, you've not been back in the Premier League since then. Is that still an ambition? I mean.
Yes, it's always your ambition, isn't it? I mean, we've been in the Championship now for 12 years. I think it's the most with Preston.
Right.
So we're just ever presence in it at the minute. I mean, at some point in the next sort of 3, 4, 5, something's got to give. Financially, we're in a better position now than we have been in those previous 11, 12 years. We're in a pretty good position. We're signing players for actual money, which is mad. We haven't done that, but for the last two summers. We've brought in sort of some £3, £4, £5 million players, which is really good. And the team is probably the best it's been in that time as well. So we're in a prime position, but it's QPR. You never know. We win a couple and we think we're going up. We lose a couple and we think we're getting relegated. It's very much like that constantly.
Yeah. I mean, we've obviously been down recently and then got back up and came straight back down again. I do like the Championship. I mean, like you say, everybody's ambition is to be in the Premier League. You always want to be in the top, the thing that you can be. It's sport. That's the idea of it. But I love the Championship. I'm going to say it, proper football. When you compare it to the Premier League, I mean, obviously the obvious difference is the VAR. It's brilliant having no VAR. You score, look at the linesman. And yet, sometimes they'll get things wrong, but you accept that for not having VAR. They still get it wrong.
Pardon? What was that? Sorry.
They still get it wrong when you've got 20 odd cameras looking at things.
The quality of the refereeing in the Championship is very questionable. And so, having said that, I certainly am not advocating for VAR anytime soon because, like I said, I'm watching these Premier League games and sometimes it's a bit joyless when you score. You're waiting 2 or 3 minutes or like 30 seconds, and I think it will come in eventually. I think, but the longer it goes off, the better, as far as I'm concerned. And like you said, the Championship is it's a crazy league, isn't it? 3 games a week, a lot of the time, and it's relentless. And anyone could beat anyone. 1 minute you think you're the best team in the league, the next you're losing at no offense to Oxford or something like away at Oxford or something. It's just like what is going on?
It's true. I mean, we lost to Sheffield United, we lost to Southampton, and then we went and beat Ipswich. To just and look, I'm third from bottom in the prediction league, so that shows how wild it is. But I must admit, last time when we were down with Enzo, I actually thought the standard of refereeing wasn't that bad. I thought it was quite good. There were some good referees. This time, I have to say it is questionable. But like you say, anything but VAR, really.
Yeah, agree.
It's just. But look, I want to get the elephant in the room out the way first of all, and it's not that elephant, but another elephant, and that is PSR. When you look at Leicester, and us fans, we're fed up with it. I've got to say, I wish the club would stop trying to fight it and just accept it. We've broken the rules. Take whatever they're going to throw at us. We're not going to go up, I don't think, this year. And if we do, it will be a disaster because it'll be worse than last time we went up.
Yeah.
Let's just take the punishment, whatever that happens to be, and get on with it. And we want to start a season where we're not starting in the season and thinking, I wonder if we're going to have some points deducted.
Is that coming then, is it? The points, is that likely to come? I did wonder what was going on with that and whether there was going to be more. I know it's across season, isn't it? Across leagues.
Oh, yeah. This is the thing. We fought it last time in the fact that where were we? The EFL couldn't charge us because we were in the Premier League, and the Premier League couldn't charge us because we were in the EFL. There was no... We weren't trying to cheat our way out of it. It's just what it was, as the lawyer said, there's no loopholes in laws, just very badly written laws. And we got away with it then, but they're going to come after us. Of course they are. We had a meeting a couple of weeks ago, the big thing down in London where the chairman and the lawyers went, and it's now been passed to the Premier League because, of course, they're together now, EFL and the Premier League. It's anything between 6 and 12 points, to be honest with you. 6 will be for us spending too much money, and then you've got a separate charge of us holding on to our accounts too long and not getting them in on time. That might be an extra 3. But do you look at Leicester and think cheating bastards, basically?
Not really, no. I mean, it's difficult because so many clubs have been in this situation over the last sort of 3, 4, 5 years. It's difficult, like I said, because you've been cross leagues, you've been up and down like a yo-yo. So it's always difficult. I don't think it, but at the same time, if you have broken the rules, then you should be punished. I mean, we're a testament to that. I mean, we've had the biggest FFP fine that's ever been given at 40 million when we when we first got promoted to the Premier League. So we overspent by miles. And you might remember in the Premier League when we were buying players and giving them £100,000 a week. So we didn't get a points deduction then, though, which was weird. It was just a £40 million fine that we're still paying now, 10 years later.
Oh, wow.
So, somehow May City will get away with it, no doubt, and won't have to pay it. I mean,
that's the annoying. Yeah, that's the annoying thing, isn't it? And I say this, in respect to Nottingham Forest and Everton and who else was it? Everton, Nottingham Forest. I can't remember. But you try to get into the Premier League. Most of the time, if you stay up there, you've got to spend the money to try and survive, if you like. All right, we did the impossible. We won the league, and then that causes its own problems because if we'd gone out and bought Jamie Vardy after we'd won the league, the fans would have gone absolutely mad. What are you doing going to the lower leagues to buy a player? We should be buying. So we were going out and paying 30 million, 40 million pound players, and then of course the other club, You've dined at the top table. You want to stay there, and then suddenly you get the bill through it, the bill for it, and you're thinking like, there's no, you can't compete, can you? There's no options because you can't compete with the money that some of these clubs have got.
No, you've got to risk it. If you risk it for a biscuit, then it can go wrong. I've seen you've got Harry Winks who's on, I don't know what, 100 odd K a week or something.
Well, it feels like 100 odd million. I mean, we think it's probably because we got relegated about 90, but he's fallen out. Yeah. Highest paid player in the Championship, but you've got to sometimes pay these players that sort of money to come to your club because, okay, we won the Premier League, we won the FA Cup 5 years ago, but we're still only Leicester. We're not going to attract players because of who we are. We've got to offer them the money.
Do you think that obviously you would never take away winning the league and stuff because obviously that was great, but do you think that your what's come of that after is kind of buying the players, big wet Europe, and I don't know, do you know what I mean? Like it's the aftermath of winning it a little bit. Although you would never take it back, it's unless you're one of those big clubs.
I once said, and I got pilloried for it. And look, if you said to me now, look, for the next 10, 11 years, you're going to get promoted, you're going to just avoid, getting relegated. Then you're going to go on and win the Premier League. You'll get to the quarterfinals of the Europa League, of the Champions League. You get to the Europa League twice, finishing fifth, 2 years winning, then win the FA Cup. But at the end of it, you're going to get relegated. Yeah, I'd bite your hand off and I'd do it all over again. But it is a bit like an albatross around our neck because, like I say, we'd had that, we'd had the meal at the top table. We liked it, but then we couldn't afford the bill, and that was the problem. It was a little bit of an albatross around our neck, but yeah, I'd bite your hand off to do it as well. Plus, and I'm going to say this, one of the we did probably get hit worse than a lot of clubs with COVID. Because our owners are within the travel industry, as in duty-free shops, they were obviously hit quite badly. So the retention was diverted. We obviously lost our chairman in unfortunate circumstances, and he was sort of the power behind the throne, if you like. At top, as much as we love him, really, wasn't prepared to take it all over, and he made some bad decisions. Look. Steve Cooper, in hindsight, was probably not the right decision, but he may just have kept us up. Ruud van Nistelrooy was a disaster. I mean, that guy, he's Voldemort 10 times over. He must not be mentioned. I mean, you lose 17 games in a row playing the same players and the same formation. It's like, really? But you see, that didn't help because we'd sacked Cooper last season. We then went on to get, we couldn't sack Ruud van Nistelrooy and pay him off in the same season. So he's been sacked this season, technically, which means obviously whatever Marty does, he's probably still going to be here at the end of the season. But let's talk Marty, because obviously it is something we've got in common. fill me in first of all in what happened as to why because he was on gardening leave, wasn't he?
Yeah. So there's a lot of love. There wasn't. I mean, interestingly, I don't know whether he'll get booed or cheered, but he will only get booed because of the way he left. Right? He was very much loved at QPR. He came in at a really bad time. We were bottom of the league or second bottom. We had Gareth Ainsworth before him, who was about disasters. I mean, you know, he was just an absolute disaster from start to finish.
I remember playing you when Ainsworth was in charge.
Oh mate, it was grim. So he came in, you know, club was at an all-time low, or especially in recent years, and he turned it all around, and he and gave us a structure, and you know, and gave a bit of belief to some of our key players, and kept us up comfortably. Yeah. And then last season, you know, we had Marty's got this thing, right, and you've already experienced it, is that you'll think he'll be dead and buried and he will lose. So we didn't win a game for the first 15. We won 1 in 15 last season, first 16 games. He was on the brink, and I mean on the brink, like last 10 minutes of a game away at Stoke, we drew 1-1, but they scored a 90th minute goal and it got disallowed for handball, and it wasn't handball, and that kept. He then got another opportunity, and then we went on a mad run and won like 7 out of 9.
Yeah.
And he did that 3 or 4 times in his tenure. You'll think that he's, and then out of nowhere, he'll just very consistently inconsistent is probably the best word to describe him. Very likable, loved, but he always had his fingers in other pies or his eyes around the corner, and he always wanted to look for other jobs. There was rumours that he applied for Burnley and Sunderland jobs in the time. He's got a very active agent. There was rumours that he was close to Leicester at the first time with Rui van Nistelrooy. Something was going on there as well. And then according to the rumours, you know, nothing's fully come out yet. But you know, because of what happened after, something happened with West Brom. There was some sort of tapping up or something. He was going to go there. They wanted him. And we were just had enough at that point and put him on gardening leave. But we still, because we put him on gardening leave, West Brom still had to pay his compensation. He wanted to just leave and go on a free. The compensation was like £3 million, multi-million pounds. West Brom didn't want to pay. We didn't have the money. They went to Ryan Mason instead. So then he was left in a bit of limbo for a little while, where he was on gardening leave. He was never coming back at that point. I think the trust had gone with him and the board. And then he ended up at Leicester. I mean, we've got Julian Steffens now, who's brilliant. Doing really well. So you know, we don't miss him. But I've got fond memories of Marty, and he delivered some good times. But he just got a bit big time Charlie is probably the best way to describe it. Without really doing anything. I mean, he got us out of relegation, got us up the league a little bit, but we were sort of up and down the league. Do you know what I mean? We weren't in the playoffs and. You know, which I don't know, but
I know what you're saying. I mean, when you know Rude went, and I have to say my choice of managers have never been brilliant, because I wanted Steve Cooper, I also wanted Ruud van Nistelrooy, so it shows I know absolutely nothing about football. But you know, we were linked with you know, every man and his dog, and obviously Roll from Sheffield Wednesday was the main one we were being linked with. That was very complicated with everything that was going on at Sheffield Wednesday. We were linked, obviously, with Russell Martin, who went to Rangers. That fell through. We were linked a lot with not Steve Coop. Guy that was at West Ham and got sacked. Graham Potter. Yeah, I mean, you know, we almost got to the point of being charged with stalking. I think we went to him that often. And then obviously we were being linked with Chris Wilder and Sean Dyche. And then this guy came sort of left field, to be honest with you. And the thing that we liked about him when he started was that he wanted to come. You know, I'm sure Ruud van Nistelrooy, Leicester was never his ambition to come and manage it there. He wanted the Man United job. He didn't get it because they brought Amorim in, and then Amorim sacked him because he wanted to bring his own guys in. And I think Ruud van Nistelrooy saw it as a way of coming in and, you know, maybe having a dig at Man United. But this guy, you know, he paid half of his compensation. I mean, I'm sure we'll be paying him back in some form or another. But the guy wanted to come here. He was he's on social media. He was in a pub garden having fish and chips and what have you. It was very late though, because he only came in with like one pre-season friendly left, so he's been playing very much on catch up, and I think that's his saving grace, because we look, the team that came down from the Championship for Leicester was absolutely shit. There's no two ways about it. It's one of the worst teams I've ever seen playing in blue. When they say you're not fit to wear the shirt, we weren't even that good. And then the half decent players we had, we sold, because we're trying to balance the books. So he's been dealt a bit of a rough hand. And it was funny because he got 4 draws in a row at the start of the season, and everybody was moaning. Well, yeah, we take that recently. It was that bad. But like you say, before I went on holiday, just before the Derby game, I'd written my piece for the BBC saying this guy is rubbish. He doesn't know what he's doing. Why does he think the same formation is going to work this season when it didn't work last season? Blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, he goes and wins. We'll get 7 points out of 9, wins 2 and draws 1. He does give you false hope.
You've still got some good players there. I mean, look at your team and Mavadimi and Fatua and Reed, and there's still some really good players there. And he likes his wingers, Marty. We play with a bit more now inverted wingers, right? Which is slightly different to how Marty plays, but he can be overly cautious at times. Would very much protect the draw a lot of the time, and his in-game management wasn't always great either. Subs, changing a game, reacting, that was always a bit of a frustration. But like you said, very good at feeling like he's with the players and they're together and getting the fans on side. He's very good at that. So and he looks the part, and he's got enough. Do you know what I mean? Like he just gives that aura about it. And he speaks really well in interviews as well. I don't know if he's done the same to you, but he seems to speak well, and I mean, but
interesting what you said though about his in-game management, because I've seen a couple of games this season where he's come out at half time, he's made early changes, he's swapped the formation round. I mean, we're 3-0 down to Sheffield United, 3 substitutions at half time, which is unheard of these days, and we ended up 3-2. We nearly got it back. But then other times, you look and you're thinking, what the hell's he put him on for? Why is he taking him off? And that's the frustrating thing. And it sounds like you have the same thoughts of him when you had him.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah. I mean, we had some good times with him, right? We had some really good moments. We beat Leeds at home 4-0. A couple of last-minute winners. We went on some good runs, but I think his time would probably come to an end. And like I said, something happened with the board, I think. And the West Brom thing, I think, was just the last the last straw. And I think that putting him on garden leave meant that we could get the compensation for him still.
Yes. Yeah. No, I do. I mean, I think as much as sort of I was moaning about him, and look, we're fans, we're allowed to moan, it's what we do, but I don't think he will be sacked because of the financial position we're in, and he hasn't got his own players either. We got couple of freebies and a couple of loans in the summer, and that was all we got in, and we sold 50-odd million pounds worth of players. So he's not got his own team yet. But I want to go on and talk about this gentleman who's come in. Is it Julien Stefan or?
That's right,
yeah. He's come in, French manager. When he came in, what were your thoughts on him?
Well, I can't stress that. I can't, say that I knew a lot about his career and stuff like that. But he does come in with a real big pedigree. He's been managing the Champions League. He's won the French Cup. He's done Rennes and Strasbourg, big teams in France. So he comes in with a bit of pedigree. We wanted someone in who's got experience with 3 game weeks and can deal with them, because it's a big part of the Championship. And he's done that, and he's taken him a bit. To be fair, it's taken him a bit of a while to get used to the Championship, and it's not it's never as easy as it looks. You're kind of hoping that you can find the sort of Sunderland manager that just comes in and just sorts it out and nails it first time. But yeah, he's taken a bit of time to get used to it. But look, it looks like he's doing really well. His formation is real different to Marty. We play with inverted wingers, a real high 10. Like Richard Kone plays in a 10-9, 10 hybrid. So we play 4-4-2 basically. He's kind of brought 4-4-2 back, which is kind of nice to see actually, playing with two up top. We haven't done that for many years. So, and it works. It works a lot of times it doesn't, which is frustrating. But yeah, I think we're in good hands. Whether we'll, go up or get the playoffs, probably unlikely unless we get a really good run. But I don't think we'll be anywhere near the bottom, which is good considering the last few years we've had. So, yeah, relatively happy with him.
Do you think with the board that you've got that he will be given time? Because, if you're not going to get playoffs this season, will the board stick by him?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's always difficult, isn't it? Because, and this is what happened to Marty, you get a bit bored of just being mid-championship. You get a bit like, well, you've got to do something. You can't just continue to be around here. Like, 16th, 17th, 12th for a good day. You can't really keep doing that. So, it will be up to him and what he demands. And he looks like someone who won't take any, rubbish, so to speak. And he'll want some progression. So, yeah, I think the board. Problem is in football, managers don't get long, do they? I think the tenure is eight months in the championship. That's the average tenure. So, you just never know. You're a really bad run away from any manager from getting this chop, aren't you? Really.
Totally. And I think, you have to look at the situations. And sometimes, because let's be honest with you, it's very rare that a manager comes in and he's taken over a happy, well-run club. Well, exactly, usually he's coming in because somebody's been sacked. I mean, I'm just looking at his record here. And Rensby, a 44% win rate. Rennes, 41. Like you say, he won the cup. He's good with the youth. Strasbourg was probably his only block, but he still got a 32% win rate. Went back to Rennes and got 44, and obviously he's currently on 40 with yourself. Interesting because he has had that youth experience, and now Marty said this, he wants to see the youngsters come through, and we've hardly seen them, to be honest with you.
No, we're the same. We've had the same sort of notion in the summer that we have got some really good young players, but the problem is that because of what we said about time and pressure, it's difficult for these sort of managers to just give a couple of youngsters minutes. It'll backfire, but no one will remember that, and it will just be the result that they remember. And that's kind of what Steffens is saying as well. Like I want to put trust in them, but it's got to be right in the right time, in the right moment. So yeah. Yeah.
It's easier for youngsters to come in when the team's doing well than it is when the team's struggling. And I think we knowing how shit our players were, we just wanted, because we've got this golden generation at Leicester, we've got this fantastic training ground, they're all coming through, and we're not seeing any of them. But I'm guessing sort of Marty's main concern was, we are going to get a points deduction. I mean, if it's 9, we're still out the relegation zone. But we don't. The more points we can get on before we get that, obviously, it's going to be better. But he's starting to sneak one or two players in, so it's not too bad. But I agree with you about. I'd love to see the 4-4-2 back. I hate this 4-2-3-1. Is it? I mean, we play out from the back. I mean, just if you can keep on our defenders. That's how we conceded the goal against Ipswich. Playing out from the back, playing it to a player who'd got an Ipswich guy on him, who nipped in, took the ball and scored. Are you that sort of team, or do you sort of kick it upfield and try to attack that way?
So we will not want the ball a lot. We're better without possession. If you give us possession, we're not great. We're better on the counter. We've got quite nippy, fast players. We've got Kone and Burrell up front. Burrell is a massive signing, really. Cost £1 million from Burton. He's already on 9 goals. He's superb. He's quick. So him and Kone will run all day up there, and they will definitely press along with the wingers. We've got, Ilias Chair, Dembele. We've got Poku's back fit, who was really good last season. We've got Sato, who's very good as well, a Japanese winger. So we've got a little Paul Smith as well. So really quick up top. So we will look to press and we will look to try and get some mistakes out of you, but we won't be someone who is playing it around at the back for sort of 10, 15 minutes. We'll very much look to get it up as quick as possible. Whether that's whether that's long ball or down the sides, we'll probably look. It'll be a little bit like that.
Yeah. Want to talk to you about Kone, because he was a player that we were linked with.
Yeah.
In the summer, and he was a player that we wanted. I mean, how good is he? Are you happy with him?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I mean, he's got an Ivory Coast call up recently. He hasn't scored as many goals as we hoped he would, but that's not for him. That's because he's playing in a slightly different formation. Like I said, he's playing in the hybrid 10, so he's playing behind Burrell. He's been unfortunate that Burrell's been great and scoring goals meant that he can't really play up front ahead of him because, I mean, you can't really when you've got someone score. I think he scored 9 and 12 or something like that for us. So, you can't take him out. So, but he's fitted in really well. He's a hustler bustler. He'll battle in there. He's good with the ball at his feet. I'd like to see him up front in the 9, but it's difficult. A bit further up. But he's really good. I mean, it cost us like 2 million up front, 2.5 in add-ons and stuff like that. So, I mean, it was brilliant. I couldn't believe we signed him, to be honest with you. But yeah, he could do with more goals. So hopefully they'll come.
You got him. I mean, I think he obviously wanted to stay probably down that end of the country and what have you. I think he's going to be a good signing for you. Well, he's proving that, isn't he? But
I think we've thrown a bit of wages at him and Poku as well, who also had big offers elsewhere that we've managed to persuade to come. I mean, London's always a pull for every player, so we've always got that pull. We've got a little bit more money now, so the squad is looking better, much better than it did anyway last couple of years. So I'd imagine Marty's looking at it a bit envious to what he had last season.
Probably what he's got this season. Yeah. I mean, we will start almost guaranteed with a 4-2-3-1. We've lost Daka to the African Cup of Nations, but as his average is scoring 1 goal a year, we're not exactly going to miss him. Although we have got Antonio training with us, but he's not going to be ready for this game, unfortunately. Luckily, we've got, you may know Bobby Dakova-Reid because he was at Fulham, who, when he first came, was being played on the wing, and he could have got further on a mobility scooter, to be honest with you. But they've put him now in that number 10 role, and he's brilliant. And whilst our strikers aren't scoring at all, thankfully, the rest of the team are piling in with it. And you mentioned Fatawu. I don't know if you saw his goal the other week.
They did, yeah. Incredible, yeah.
I mean, I think that's goal of the season done and dusted, to be honest with you. Just go on, Abdul, make a gap in your cabinet for that. That's coming your way. But, yeah, it's that the goals are coming from other ways. And my worry is it depends which Leicester's going to turn up for you. Because, like I say, who thought we'd have beaten Ipswich, but then who thought we would have lost to Southampton? We only just beat Sheffield Wednesday on the opening day, so it all depends on the way that he decides to play. But this is a comparison of the seasons. We're literally on top of each other at the moment in 8th and 9th. You are on a -5 goal difference, though.
Yeah, we lost to Coventry 7-1, didn't we? Right at the
start of the season, course, yeah.
Which was actually the best thing that could have happened to us, to be honest. Sometimes results like that, they make, we were trying to play out from the back. We were trying to dominate possession. We didn't have the players to do it. Steve Cook at centre-back, he's not going to be able to do that. So it made him change formation. So sometimes those results do that, don't they?
They do. I mean, look, if you take that result out of it, which you're only going to get to one of those, hopefully a season, then your goal difference doesn't look quite as bad as it is. But look, you started. I presume that 7-1 was when you were down in sort of the 20th position, something like that.
That's it. Yeah, that third game of the season there. Look, we were in 22nd. That's when it happened. And we could have gone one or two ways. You either fall apart completely, but we might. You know, you could see the run we went on after that. So yeah, all good.
No, I mean it's well. I'm going to say I think it's going to be sort of a very tight game, but sort of looking at the stats for this game here, like we say in ninth, hosting eighth. Look, I mean these are stats, and the stats are sort of neither use nor ornament this season. But you know, apparently a 16% home advantage for yourselves. But when you look at the win probability, there's hardly anything between us.
Nah, it goes 50-50. Possibly whoever scores first, I'd imagine. Probably where it will end up. I've done a score draw. Not on my podcast. So,
I mean, you've won your last 3 at home.
Yeah. We've turned it around at home. We were better away, and now we've turned it around at home. So hopefully, West Brom, Birmingham, and Hull. So some good teams in there that we've beaten as well. So hopefully we can, carry it on.
Yeah. Interestingly, you've failed to score in 10% of your home games. So you pretty much where the net is, shall we say?
Yes.
Like I say, whenever I predict a scoreline, I always go for the fact that the opposition will score at least one, because we'll give a goal away. But 1.7 points on average for at home. I mean, we'll talk score predictions at the end, but I'm not expecting an easy game.
No, I mean, we do have a tendency to not turn up, but so does most teams, right? I mean, sometimes in the Championship, I mean, we played Middlesbrough on Saturday, and they were absolutely fantastic in the first half. Blew us away. Like, we were on a good run. We won 4 out of 5, turn up there, and it was 2-0 at half time. It could have been 5. You just don't know, do you? It's just,
you don't. No.
Someone get a red card, or someone scores a wonder goal or something, or set piece, and you're up against it. Yeah,
I'll take another goal from the halfway line. But apparently they've been winding him up because he does it a lot in training. And when the hell are you going to actually do that in a real match? 70 odd yards it was. Who needs David Beckham, eh? But yeah, as Ronald says there, it's kind of funny. The last clean sheet that we had was actually against Coventry. We just cannot keep clean sheets at all. It's embarrassing. We always say give at least one goal away. You probably might not be able to see that because I can't. So let me just go over here. But this is what they reckon the team lineups are going to be. Now they've got Nardi in goal for you.
Yeah, I mean he's our weak link, mate. If there is one, he couldn't catch a cold, mate, which is unfortunate. Good shot stopper, but crosses. He's 6s and 7s. So I mean, he will definitely be in goal though.
Right, and then the back 4: Norrington, Cook, Dunn, and Mbenge. Is it?
Yeah, Clark Salter might come in at centre back instead of Cook at left side, but I'd imagine that'll be the back 4.
Yeah. And then Dembele, Madsen, Varane, and Smythe.
Smith,
yeah.
Chair's injured, unfortunately, actually, so he won't be playing Saturday, but which is unfortunate because he's one of our best players. But I think that will be the team. Maybe Sato come in, not sure. But
you talk about Chair, but we look at the strikers, and it was a player that I always seemed to read was being linked away. That everybody was interested in him. Now, again, he may have just had a very good agent. I don't know. But, are you pleased that you kept hold of him?
Yeah. I mean, on his days, brilliant. But those days are too far apart that why he's never got the big move. To us, he's valued at sort of 5 to 10 million. But no one would be willing to pay that because he's not consistent enough, unfortunately. But on his day, if he turns up, he is, he's mustard. Like, he's done it 2 or 3 times this season where he's been the best player on the pitch by a mile. But the next week he doesn't touch the ball and it's frustrating, but I guess that's kind of the wingers that you get in this league, right?
Yeah, no, indeed. And then, as you mentioned, Burrell and Kone up front.
Yeah, well, they'll definitely play up top. Yeah, hopefully they'll be a bit of a nuisance and they can try and get us a goal. tends to be what
I
happens.
mean, I would just love to see Leicester play 4-4-2. I really would. But then, and pretty much, to be honest with you, as I'm looking at this is the team that will be lining up against you or starting. So we've got Salarchik in goal, but he is prone to an error now and again. Right back, Piera, who's also the captain. On his last legs, if I'm honest with you, I'm not bothered for keeping him. I would sell him in January while we've probably got some money in him, but otherwise he'll go on a free. But he's had his injuries a lot, bit of a sick bed. Ben Nelson, who was at Oxford last season, absolutely brilliant. Young centre back coming through the youth team. He's making that place his own now, basically because Faze is so shit. And then we've got Vestergaard, who we got 9 past when he was playing for Southampton. But again, at this level, sometimes you get players, and like Vestergaard, we signed him having, say, put 9 past him, and then he just never got in the team. And Brendan Rodgers said, "Well, no, he doesn't fit into my system. Well, why bloody buy him then?" Sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? But at this level, there's not many better defenders. He's got no speed. If your two guys up front are really fast, Nelson's not. He's quicker than Vestergaard, but then I'm quicker than Vestergaard, and I'm 17 stone and 64 years old. So it's not, it's not hard to beat him. But if you can get, the players forward, and if it's a one-on-one or over the top, that's probably going to be one of your better chances of getting to us. And then Thomas at left back, we do struggle in the left back position, and he's probably sort of the best of what we've got. Skip, he's interesting because he's had a bad time since he's been at Leicester, but he was partnered a bit with Winks, but Winks has fallen out with. And did you find that? Did players fall out with Marty? I mean, was he a bit of a disciplinarian?
Yeah, so, well, we only realised that until after. It didn't seem like it, but actually after he'd gone, there's been a lot of rumours around player unrest. So Jimmy Dunn was going to leave on a free, like in the summer. He was gone.
Right.
But Marty left and he suddenly signed a new contract. So I think so a couple of rumours coming out was that him and Marty fell out, and a couple of other players since. So I'm not surprised to hear that.
No, I mean, to be honest with you, we're all Team Marty on that because with the wages Winks is on and everything, we want more from him. And now one of the successes, they do say never fall in love with a loanee, but James, who was at Birmingham, obviously a couple of seasons ago, went to France, didn't work out. He's come back. He is absolutely. He's star player. I'd tend to say 7 out of 10 matches. He's really good. You need to watch him. And then you got Fatou and Mavididi on the wings with Dakova Reed, like I say, playing well at number 10. We have got Monga to come on. As Scott said there, we could have Monga back. I don't know whether Ramsey will be back yet because he had a hamstring, but he might be just in the squad. But Monga, don't know if you've seen much of him. He's just turned 16. He signed his first contract with us, which was great because Man City were being linked with him, and he's amazing. He won't be with us in a couple of seasons. He will be at one of the big clubs. His skills are just. You look at him, you think bloody hell, he's 16. So he will probably come on if he's fit at some point. And then Ayew up front. Well, he does what it says on the tin with Ayew. He goes down, gets you a free kick, holds the ball up and delays the game. He chips in with the odd goal, but it's the wingers you're going to have to watch out for. I think it's fair to say.
It'd be very much be one on the wing, I think.
Yeah. Let's just have a look. And pretty much from that, I mean, if this ended up in a draw, I wouldn't actually be surprised. And you've gone for a draw, haven't you?
Yeah, I went for a 2-2.
Oh, Desmond. Hey, Desmond. Yeah. Well, I would have gone for a draw because I had to predict the last 3 games in advance because I was away on holiday, so I had to put the predictions in. for like the third game when they hadn't even played the two before. I would have probably gone for a draw, but this is what kills you as a fan, isn't it? That having got 7 points out of 9, I've actually gone for a 3-1 Leicester win, purely based on the last 3 games. Take that out, and I would take a draw. And I think QPR is a difficult place to go to, and I wouldn't moan about a draw if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it could be 3-1. I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, we could win 3-1. It's one of them. Difficult. We're one of those championship teams. If we turn up, we'll be decent and we'll be difficult to beat. But we have a tendency to hit that button, where self-destruct button, especially defensively, where we just cause our own issues, which is frustrating.
Well, this could end up 5-5 then.
Yeah.
You just described Leicester. Are you a team that kind of plays right up until the last, I mean, when we were under, we got the saying "Foxes never quit," and I think that probably came from when we had Martin O'Neill, and he used to said if you played till if there's 98 minutes, you play them through 98 minutes. You don't take your foot off the gas, and we have a habit of sometimes doing that, which is a little bit annoying. Are you a team that does that? If you go, I mean. Sorry,
we've scored the most late goals in the league, I think, or in the top 3 at least. So we do score quite a lot of late goals. I mean, we've conceded quite a lot as well. So I just defend it. It depends how the game sets up in that last 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? If it's 1-0 to you or 1-0 to us, that will be, how I think we'll play. Yeah, I mean, we got thrashed by Ipswich the other day. At home we lost 4-1 and. Yeah, they absolutely killed us early doors. So I'm kind of worried about that. Their wingers killed us that day with Clark and Philogene, and I do worry about your wingers. Put it that way.
Yeah, they are probably that, and along with James are our threats. If you do go, and we do have a habit of conceding early goals. I mean, when we played Southampton, we were when we played Sheffield United, I think we were 2-0 down after 4 minutes. I mean, it's absolutely silly. If you were to go 1-0 up, are you the sort of team that sits back on that and plays out for that, or do will you go and try and get the second?
We'll be at home, so we'll definitely go and try and get the second. I mean, we won't want much of the ball. You'll notice that. We'll let you have it and try and build, and then we'll try and catch you on the counter. It's kind of been quite successful in recent home games.
Yeah. Right. Thank you very much. Tell everybody where they can listen to you.
Yeah, I mean, WTR podcast. Yeah, any QPR fans should be well known to most of them, but if they haven't or they're not, then we're on all platforms. We've just had one of the players on a couple of days ago, Nicholas Madsen. So we just interviewed him, and that's out. And we get old ex-players and current players and stuff pretty regularly. So yeah, worth a listen.
Very good. Well done on that. The link's in the description below. The details are in the description below. I wish you good luck at the weekend, but I wouldn't mean it. But good luck for the rest of the season. Finally, so, and I think we touched on this before, but just to ask you again, what sort of reception do you think he will get from the majority?
I don't know, mate. They put a vote out, and I think it was like 60% boos, but you never know on social media compared to the fans you get in the stadium, do you? So I think it will be a mixed reception. I think there will be a bit. Not a horrible taste in the fact that he just consistently wanted to leave, and the West Brom rumours and stuff. But I hope he gets a good reception because he did a good job for us for a couple of years. So I certainly won't be booing him. Put it that way.
Ronald says he's expecting a battle. And one quick last question from Scott there says, Ben, where do you think QPR will finish this season?
We will finish anywhere from 10th to 19th.
Really?
Flip a coin. We could be anywhere in there. Unless we go for it in January and bring in some big some good players, which I can't see us doing. But if we did, we might change. But yeah, between 10th and 19th will be where we finish, I think.
Brilliant, mate. Well, hopefully we'll ruin your Christmas for you by beating you at the weekend. But do have a good one, mate. We'll probably speak in the new year when the fixtures are reversed. But thanks very much, and thanks
No
to everybody
worries.
for watching. All the best, guys. Take care.
Cheers,
Thanks a
all.
lot. Bye bye.
Thank you for watching. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.